now rocking with TDF everything. Spoiled Rotten.
Spoiler alert.
Welcome and welcome back, everybody.
Hey.
It's me, Daniel,
And this is Ben.
on Spoiled Rotten. And today, you bet your bottom dollar, we are spoiling Spider-Man Brand New Day, the fourth Tom Holland solo film as Spider-Man.
That's right.
Wow. I mean, I kept waiting for the day where I saw it, and now I'm on the other side of it. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I was looking forward to this for a long time, and I have actively been trying to do the thing where I am not watching any real promotional material and all that kind of stuff, aside from like maybe the first trailer. But aside from that, I'm just like, yeah, I'm liking this a lot more, except for the fact that I had an experience. So I watched this at Yorkdale, where it attracts many youths.
Yes.
Let's say.
Yeah.
And it's a venue I'm probably going to reconsider next time, aside from the talking and all that kind of stuff. But the reason why I say this is because there was a big spoiler just like getting out of the theater, where like the screening beforehand was getting out, and we were lined up, and they were like, whatever. And it was the exact situation that Homer does on the date with Marge back in like
Sadie
the 80s.
Sink plays the real Aunt May.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like this, like, wow, who would have thought Darth Vader's Luke Skywalker's father? That literally happened. I'm like, you son of a gun. Like, you, god damn it. And I was just like, all right, you know what? I'd be more annoyed if I wasn't so damn sure that Sadie Sink was playing this character. So we'll leave that until the recording, but I just want to open up with that anecdote because I think it's funny.
Yeah, it's that they really did try to hide that.
Yeah,
and good for them, I guess.
I guess
after I think we both agreed for Captain America: Brave New World, there was no point in telling us that Red Hulk was going to be in it.
Yep.
Ahead of time, like that would have been.
That
it really
cool.
Feels like that movie is building towards it.
Yep.
So I feel like, yeah, lessons learned on their end, I would imagine, of like, let's not do that again.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. I, on this side of things, am now like, yeah, maybe they should just told us, because the lengths that they went to basically gaslight the world to be like, yeah, we don't know who she's playing, you'll have to find out. I'm just like, so many people guessed it right off the bat. Right off the bat. And I'm just like, they still committed to that bit.
Well,
and I'm like,
that's why I'm saying Red Hulk.
Guess.
Like, everyone's like, oh, okay, you recast Thunderbolt Ross instead of just having a different character. Obviously, you're going to do Red Hulk.
Yeah.
But you could have still just been like, we're not confirming one way or the other.
Yep.
Which is what they did with this. They weren't like, no, she's playing this character. They're just like, you're going to have to find out when you get there.
Yeah. Like, to me, the way they did the Zendaya MJ thing in the first one was way better. You know what I mean? It was just like, yeah, okay, sweet. That was cool.
So you wanted to be like, she's playing JG.
Was it JG? Michelle James?
No, she's MJ, and you knew that going into it.
No, I thought the other
No,
person...
they just said she's not called Mary Jane, but she was called MJ. Like that, you knew that going into it. So that's what I'm saying. In this scenario, what would you want them to do?
Yeah, no, I am definitely misremembering that from the Zendaya MJ thing.
Yeah,
because
now
Michelle, what you're saying is
not...
way more accurate. I'm like, yeah, I remember that. I didn't like the way they bamboozled me there. I just don't like feeling bamboozled anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like you're already halfway there. Just don't watch anything or pay attention to anything until you get to the movie.
I am almost halfway there for sure.
Yeah.
It's just hard when we're in the line of work that we do, getting paid the big bucks.
Yeah, the very big bucks. So if people haven't seen this movie, the basic idea here is it is 4 years after the events of No Way Home. Spider-Man has basically taken over all of Peter Parker's life. He's friends with Jean DeWolf, who is the woman from The Bear. I guess there's two people from The Bear in this, technically.
Yeah.
And then he's also had this friendship with the Punisher.
Mhm.
and somebody. So he's doing this, and they basically like this guy solved crime. Like it's the lowest crime rate ever until somebody who can jump into people's minds has been attacking DOC or whatever it's called.
DODC.
DODC.
Yeah.
Facilities looking for something, and
Mhm.
Spider-Man needs to stop that. Also, for some reason, they're like, also the hand, they're just a bunch of kids. Yes, we are going to lean into Ninja Turtles 1. It's just a bunch of wayward kids. We figured out how to like harness that, so now they work for us.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever, it's a cool fight scene. I was kind of like, what?
Yeah.
Why them?
Yeah.
But great fight scene, so I don't care.
I get the logic behind it, but I'm like, oh, so a League of Assassins type of thing is just okay being working for the government? I guess.
I just did not think about it too hard. I was like,
Yeah,
honestly, I get what they're doing, so I don't really.
I get what
I'm
they're
not gonna
doing,
hold them.
and I'm just like, I guess the benefits package must be really good. It is America.
Well, he said they're just kids. We understand how to control that. Like we understand what they want.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel like that was the case before, but that's what they're telling us, so that's what I'm going with. So this person jumping through has realized, oh my goodness, I can't jump into Spider-Man's head for very long, and so there becomes an antagonistic relationship between this person and Spider-Man. Also, while this is happening, Spider-Man's body is changing, and he's trying to stop that, so he goes to Bruce Banner, who is a professor now, and they have an interesting talk, and he comes away from that, even though it's very clear that Bruce Banner's like, don't do it. He's like, I will. This is a good idea. I will inhibit my powers, and I will also just make a universal one that can be used on mutants. This is a great idea. Not bad at all.
Yeah.
I don't look like a bad guy at all in this situation.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he does that. And and there's Will Metzger. Now I don't even remember what his name is in Severance, but it's Tremel Tillman. But I just wish I remembered his name from Severance. That show needs to come out way more often. But yeah, he is the head of the DODC, and he's like, hey, I know I seem slimy, but just trust me, this is all above board, and I don't know what that crazy woman is talking about. Just stop her.
Yeah.
And this is a good idea for you to work with the government, as you saw during Civil War. This is a great idea. Just do it.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's like, I will. This is great. And he then finds his way to be like, maybe I'll talk to MJ. And honestly, even though this is in the trailer, it still was quite the gut punch, because then he's like, oh, she has a boyfriend. And I'm like, again, I wasn't surprised she had a boyfriend, but just the way it plays out, I was like, oh, I've been there.
Yeah.
I feel for you, my guy.
Yeah.
I really, the way he's like, I gotta get out of here. This is, no, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, he still has, throughout the movie, he still has MJ and Ned in his orbit, which I think are always strong scenes. But yeah, this person, we've already said it, Jean Grey, has turned the Hulk against Spider-Man because she's really trying to break into something. What is she trying to break into? What is she trying to get? We will get into it throughout the spoiler review, but this is the main thing set up here, is this person trying to get into the DODC for something, and Spider-Man trying to stop them, while also dealing with what's going to happen with MJ. He seems to kind of care about Ned, but the main focus up front is MJ and what's going on with his body.
Yeah,
I think that covers everything.
Pretty much. That's a good wrap up all there for sure.
So yeah, my initial thoughts are that I had a lot of fun with this movie. I think that it truly embraces what it is to be in not just a comic book universe, but the universe MCU has specifically created.
Yes.
I'm sure there's going to be people that are like, oh, these cameos, but I felt that everyone that intersects with the story is important. And even if they're not important, you're like, yeah, why wouldn't he intersect with this person given who they are and their proximity to him in this moment? So yeah, I thought that was great. Also, I was truly taken with the web slinging I know a lot of people kept saying during the Watts movies, "Oh, he sucks because he doesn't do a lot of web slinging." And I think when we did No Way Home, I was just like, I don't mind because that always felt like, okay, this is the origin story over 3 movies.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're getting Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, him doing amazing web slinging this is great. I understand that's also because it's a different director, a different visual team, but still, the progression made sense to me.
Yeah, and I like okay, so I guess this is kind of controversial, but I like the fact that they kept in the No Way Home trilogy, let's say, they kept putting Peter in situations where web slinging wouldn't be the thing that he could naturally do. So it's really like the stakes are higher now, and like the first villain he fights is friggin' Vulture. It's just like aerial superiority, like, and they keep putting him in like the beach, for example. He's in Washington D.C. There's all over the place where he's like he can't web sling. Now he's like, nope, I am basically just at my place getting my GED, just working all the time, and in New York it makes sense to web sling there. So they never really did explore New York City. Mm-hmm. They really were Brooklyn for sure, but like the idea of he was in class, he was on field trips, he was this. Now this actually makes sense for the web slinging aspect, and it looks beautiful. Like I don't think I've ever seen New York like this before. It's gorgeous the way they shot this thing.
And I like all the emotional stuff of this movie. I thought that there were some great moments of the writing actually coming together nicely.
Yes.
That we'll get into. And so, like, my only real complaint about the movie is they reveal that it's Jean Grey not quite right away, but early on enough. Mm-hmm. But enough time passes before they actually give her any kind of interiority that I'm like, I don't know, maybe this is Madeline Pryor, or so, just not actually Jean Grey, given how quickly they're like, it's Jean Grey, and then don't do anything with that, really.
Yeah.
I was like, no, this has to be someone else, right? Like, we're going to find the real Jean Grey. Mm-hmm. The reason I say Madeline Pryor is because everyone knows that Sadie Sink is just going to be in more movies. So I'm like, so it's going to be her.
Yeah.
But if it's Madeline Pryor, at least you explain why it looks exactly like this Jean Grey person. Yeah. But yeah, I was just like, by the time they're like, she's looking for her dead sister and they show the sister, I'm like, well, now it just feels off.
Yeah.
Storytelling wise, they get back on track, but that is the only thing that really kind of made me like, oh, this is awkward. Like, this was an awkwardly timed delving into the villain.
Yeah, I will say the sister thing didn't work for me, but and this is gonna, I think, surprise a lot of people, I did not have fun with this movie.
Oh, no.
And the reason why, I enjoyed the shit out of this movie, I did not have fun with it. Because I'm just like, I think the magic of the Watts trilogy was seeing Tom Holland, and Zendaya and Jacob Batalon, the three of them together was so much fun. That the fact that, and I understand that this movie is necessary to get there, but to me, I'm like, they hit the emotional note so deep that I'm like, I'm not having fun, but I'm enjoying this because it's good storytelling, it's good writing, it's good everything, and it's necessary to get over that hump of, okay, now they know him again. They're now bringing that part back, and the irony of like Spider-Man can't ever be happy because guess what? This is happening right before Doomsday and Secret Wars, where it's just like, do you think they're gonna be happy for long? Probably not. No. But the idea of that, it didn't make it fun for me, as fun as the first three were, because the first three were just pure fun. And this was just like, yeah, we're dealing with adult Spider-Man now. This makes a lot more sense. It works.
No Way Home's pretty dark. But yeah.
It is pretty dark. But this, to me, is just like, yeah, because when people, and when I say people, I mean the internet reactions and all that kind of stuff. When people are like, yeah, we're getting depressed Spider-Man, I'm like, why do you want that? That sucks. I hate that. And it was just like, yeah, this is brutal. But for the themes that they want to explore in the movie, it makes, like I said, it makes a lot of sense. It is well written. It's well done. A lot of it. It's the fact that I did not have fun with it is not going to reflect in my final rating because of the fact that I'm like, this is a good movie. It's just not as fun as the Watts thing. But of course, the Watts trilogy allows them, the characters, to be not having that much responsibility. They're in high school. They're doing field trips. They're enjoying life. And I'm just like, okay, it's a big shift, but a necessary one because, yes, he is an adult now. It's 4 years after high school. And, well, he's doing adult Spider-Man things. And I like how they keep poking at that in the sense where it's like, yeah, he's got to stretch before he fights. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. I'm there. I get that too. Like, I gotta do what? I gotta stretch
anymore. I think that I enjoyed every to your point. I enjoyed every moment that included either MJ or Ned or the three of them together. That speaks to how great their chemistry is, and also helps that it's the same writers for the four movies. So then, I mean, there's additional writers, but it feels like the core writers are still here in this. So they know what they're doing with those characters, and I mean, what am I going to do? Not enjoy when Yelena Belova shows up or in something like?
Now that I was happy that I did not have that spoiled for me, because when I saw her, I was like, "Oh my god, this is sick! We're doing comic book stuff where people can come in and out. This is awesome."
No, like I knew, but then I forgot, and then I saw her at the premiere. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot she's in this movie. And also, I saw this compilation. This isn't my fault. I just saw a compilation of Tom Holland just manifesting his whole career, and so it was like an interview, like when he was a little kid, and they're like, "What would you want to do?" He's like, "I don't know, maybe be Spider-Man." And then like just randomly like, I would want to work with Florence Pugh, or I'm like, right, she's gonna be in this movie. I keep getting reminded she's in this movie, and again, that makes sense because she's the leader of the New Avengers, or who is? Yeah, she is. I remember that because Bucky is the one that's trying to help her. Like, no, put it on the big screen. She's like, no, I was going to. Shut up. I know. But yeah, she's the leader of the New Avengers, and they're based out of New York, so it makes sense that he'd be like, oh, I can go to her.
Yep.
And she keeps reminding him, we deal with big potato stuff. This is your shit.
Yeah, this is little potato stuff. I love that so much. It was so funny.
Yeah, so I liked that. I like that he goes to the Hulk. I feel bad for Bruce Banner that his life is completely destroyed by the end of this movie.
Yes.
They try to make it seem funny, but it's very depressing what happens to him.
It's so depressing. I'm just like, God damn. He's trying to get his public image right and all that kind of stuff. He
seems like he does have it right. Like,
he does have it right.
Calmly in his class, people are having fun again.
Yep.
Like that one guy that's like, Hulk smash, and I'm like, I don't even know how that answers the question, but that's funny.
It was just so funny. I love that moment of the movie where it's not NYU, it's ESU, right? Empire State University. So
that's right.
They're at ESU. He's doing his lecture, and then obviously the kids are more interested in his stories as the Hulk and
Bruce like,
Banner as opposed to
stuff.
The teaching stuff. They're like, nah. They did the one, and this is what I do love about Marvel is that they'll embrace some of the weird stuff of the internet, and because like the internet was during the time of the Thanos snap was like, couldn't he just double the amount of resources instead
Cindy
of killing
Moon
people?
asked that. I guess that's Silk.
Yeah.
I guess she's also in the original trilogy. The same actor as well.
Oh, nice. I didn't realize that. I guess they're so
team.
grown up now.
Or not debate team, whatever they were on. Like I've as someone who's watching Mean Girls, I want to say mathletes, but I know it's not that. So like,
no, it is the debate team.
I thought it was the science team. They were like, they would do like science trivia. It's closer to mathletes.
Yeah, I think you're right. Decathlon is the word that's coming out to my mind. But what is a decathlon? It's I just know there's 10 events, but like...
Whatever. Either way, it's not debate, and it's not math. Yes. It's not strictly mathletes either.
Yeah. So I just love the idea of like, they put that whole internet theory of like, why didn't they just do this? Now, they're never going to do like, why couldn't Ant-Man just jump into his butt and expand? Like, they're never going to do the Thanos thing. But like, the fact that they put that in here... It was so good to me. I was like, yes, awesome.
So yeah, I really appreciated that he went there, and because who else would you? That is the person you go to, the person who successfully has an inhibitor for their thing, and yeah, that just gets crushed, and he has a bad public persona again because he smashes everything, and you're just like, and they make a point of being like, and now he's getting sent to a psych ward, and you're like, wow,
That sucks.
that's a wrap on Hulk. When you were talking about people getting excited for depressed Spider-Man, I'm like, I don't get why people are excited for this for the Hulk. Like, that seems to. I'm not even saying this is a bad story move, but like,
Right.
I don't think people are like, oh man, now he has somewhere to go. They're just like, yeah, Savage Hulk is back. I'm like, that's hardly the takeaway you should have here.
Yeah, it's not the takeaway that.
They're just, yeah, MCU brought back the Savage Hulk. I'm like, I don't. You already had it. Like, he grew up.
Yeah. I feel like people were just, and I think this is so dumb, but people were just like, make him do the thunderclap, and then like I'm like, yeah, you saw it in the trailer, like, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, the fight holds up. I think it's great. Just the fact that the fight holds up in the sense where it's like, I love the fact that Bernthal's Frank Castle is like bringing a gun to the fight, and then Peter's
what are you gonna do?
like,
Tickle him?
What are you gonna do with that? He just keeps shooting, and then he does the thing where he shoots and he's screaming like the way he does, and I'm like, it's just so silly. It's so incredibly silly, but
like,
works.
I get it, man. You got to do the screaming because that's your like intimidation tactic. You got to try something.
Yeah.
But I also like that at one point he's like, okay, you handle this and I'll go over there and do this with Jean Grey. And he's like, are you trying to just not have to fight the Hulk? And Punisher just has to be like, I mean, yeah.
I mean, I guess so.
And I'm like, yeah, man, you're the superpowered one. Why would he fight the Hulk? I mean, I'm sad for him. I did appreciate his involvement. Again, just you have this connection just in general of I fought side by side with you, but also that is the person you would go to.
Yes.
You would seek them out. This because at one point I'm like, can he just talk to Dr. Strange? I'm like, no, this is the right move. Don't use any magic. Just go to another science person and be like, how do I just control the situation instead of having it be in someone else's hands?
Yep.
I liked that progression for Peter because we haven't talked about it, but I liked the idea that this movie was like, stop trying to do everything on your own.
Yes.
And yes, that, but also what comes with that is it means you do have to surrender to a bunch of things, whether that is other people's help or just the natural progression of things. You shouldn't be trying to control every aspect of what's going on. And yeah, I thought that was really well played out through like what we talk about, that for the most part every sequence is dealing with that idea. That he is not actually allowing for things to naturally unfold. Yeah,
he's trying to play puppet master, control everything, and just like do all that kind of stuff, and be a version of himself that he feels the public would accept in that sense. So a lot of these things I feel are very, very like really cleverly done to where this character is age-wise, because I'm like, yeah, just because I can remember this personally, just because I turned 18 does not mean I'm an adult. Like, I had to go through the trials and tribulations that Spider-Man did in that sense, where it's like, yeah, you can't be the person that you think other people want to be. You have to be yourself, and you know, you can't do everything yourself. You have to accept help somewhere, and this movie just discusses those points so well, and I'm just like, that's why I'm like, the writing for this is incredible. Yeah. Like that like you already talked about, the moment he found out MJ has a boyfriend already, I'm like, and you see him web slinging and just like crying while he's doing it. I'm like, yeah, I've been there, bud. I remember leaving a party crying all the way home, driving and all that kind of shit. That's a shitty feeling to have, and they play it up so well. And then the very, very real, like, okay, once you're home, there's another explosion that happens, and it plays into the movie thing with the whole like arachnid hormones that are coming up for him and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
they always have to. His inhibitor is always bringing stuff back down to base level. Basically, he's evolving, but he's like, nope, not gonna do that. I'm just gonna bring it back to whatever happened at the initial bite.
Yeah.
Basically, everyone's like, don't do that. And he's like, I will. This is, and there's gonna be. I read the credits, I'm like, Naomi Watts was the voice of his machine. I'm like, wow, they really. I guess what is she gonna be like? No, don't pay me a bunch of money to just record a couple of lines. But
Yeah, seriously. Because when I saw that, I was just like, man, that's awesome. I love her.
But I liked when she was like, so did anything happen? Like any traumatic thing? He's like, no. She's like, I think you're sure about that? You want to try that again?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the party in the trailer makes it seem like it's gonna be like a fun time, and I was just like, no, that's just heartache. That's just terrible times.
Yeah, he really just hurt his own feelings in that way. And I've been there. I'm like, I'm gonna do this, and I think it's a great idea. And I'm like, nope, that was a terrible idea.
So yeah, what I guess I don't really want to talk about Spider-Man until we're getting into how it interweaves with everyone else. Let's get the first thing out of the way. I don't not like this. I think it's a good use. I saw it compared to Fantastic Four, except for this felt better, which was they pretty much let you know, like, yeah, there's a bunch of bad guys, but they're all going to get dealt with in the opening montage.
Yep.
Including people like Tombstone, which I was like, I heard he had such a big role in the movie, and I was like, I don't think that's true. I mean, it isn't true. It's
not.
Everyone, I don't know if everyone, a lot of people have seen the image. That's his scene. If it doesn't really go beyond that, it's him strangling Spider-Man over a beam, and he gets webbed up.
Yep.
Taken to jail. I liked that because they were basically like showing that, okay, great, you cleaned up crime, you're still fucked. So maybe you should find some balance in your life.
Yep. I love that. It's just like, you did the thing that you wanted to do, and you're still unhappy. What are you gonna do now?
Yeah, and Scorpion is in it. But it's like, I don't know. I don't say this is an actual like mark against the movie, but it was just kind of like, it just feels like the Scorpion's here the same way that Tombstone's here. It doesn't feel like there's any actual history there.
No, there's not.
But he's got a cool suit, and they have a cool fight.
Yes, they do, and I do appreciate how they are very creative in showing us how he can use the suit differently than other than just how I've seen it before in the animated series, where it's just like, I'm gonna use it to hit you and all that kind of stuff. Like the fact that he uses it to like springboard around the battle scene, I'm just like, no, that's sick. That's so cool. And it's like, I appreciate those moments, but you're right. As a character, like, was he really in it? He was, being mind controlled the entire time during that second fight. The first fight, I'm like, yeah, that's actually him, I guess. But montage fight. So.
The first fight, the montage fight is him. It doesn't. I mean, they never made a promise that he was the lead. I think people just saw him and they're like, yeah, he's back. And he's back.
It's true. And a lot of people just made that leap of guess.
I really thought there was going to be a secret. I thought when in the trailer they had Keith David's voice, I was like, yeah, that he'll be like the main villain. And then it's like, nope, that was actually very clever. They're like, no, it really is just a YouTube video.
Yes,
he is not in the movie. They just cleaned up his audio to make it seem like he was talking directly to someone. It's like, no, that's just a YouTube video he's watching. And why wouldn't you have Keith David narrate your YouTube video?
Yeah, and
he's got a great voice.
He's got a great voice. I do like the fact that I'm like, okay, that moment where it's like, you realize he's that voice from the trailer is coming from the YouTube video. It makes it so much better to the idea of like, oh yeah, they're calling out the fact that you shouldn't listen to everything that you hear on YouTube, because like they're like the things he says were
in context, like straight up about Spy. It really made it seem like he was talking to Bruce Banner and got one set of advice, and then was talking to whoever Keith David was playing and getting this other set of thing. But it's like, nope. It really is just a video.
Yeah, it's really just a video on YouTube, and it was wrong because spiders don't have that life cycle kind of bullshit. So it's like, that being a YouTube video, clever, smart, really, really good, and great way to throw us off.
Yeah, I appreciated that. Also, I like how he doesn't actually live in a unit in the apartment building. He's like, can I just go where not a lot of people walk around?
Yeah.
So that's, again, trying to control everything. And I do appreciate that he's trying to still build up the courage to read this letter to MJ, even though I'm like, I mean, 4 years, buddy. You should, you should.
I get it. I get it.
No, to be clear, he's 22. I
Yes.
understand that you're not going to just give up on that.
Especially because he hasn't bothered to make a life outside of crime fighting. So it's just like, yeah, he clearly hasn't emotionally moved on. And it makes sense to me.
It does feel like MJ is a very specific relationship, because that wasn't just a girlfriend. Like, we appreciated that she was, for the most part, in on things for the second and third, or second half of the second movie and the third movie, until he makes a decision to take her choices away. But he would be aware too of like, oh, that's someone who knew who I was, which is that's more important when you hear the Aunt May speech. Yes, Aunt May comes back. That Aunt May speech, to me, justifies him not getting over MJ.
Yes.
That Aunt May speech about the people who love you because of who you are, not because you're special.
Yep.
And you need to remember that that's what's going to keep you going. And so you would be like, yeah, Ned and MJ loved me before. I understand the MJ thing is romantic, but I do actually think there was like even though they joked around with MJ, very clearly that first scene where they're like, well, why are you sitting with us? She saw them as friends and was connected to them. Even if she had feelings for Peter beyond that, as a group, they were connected. And so that would have been like, before they knew anything, we were close like that. And I can't let that go. Yeah.
I mean, it makes perfect sense. Those are the day ones, you know what I mean? It's you gotta there's a special place in your heart for the day ones, and that's exactly what they were. So I get why he can't let go, especially because he hasn't bothered to try to move on and all that kind of stuff. And I like the thing that Lisa Colon Zayas' character, that the police the police commissioner and all that kind of stuff, says, like, yeah, we talk, but we're not close. I don't know you.
Do you even know you're my kid's name's like, well, for one, your son's name is Poppy.
Yeah, that was a really great thing. But it's just the fact that she calls him out and is like, yeah, you're right. You talk to this person every single day. You don't know who they are. You don't. They don't know who you are. That's not intimacy. And I think that this movie does a good job of calling out those kind of relationships, especially in this day and age, without it being overtly about social media. It's just the idea of internet friends or long distance friends or whatever, that, like, if you are playing that, putting up that mask, so to speak, quite literally, to be like, I'm this person and pretending to be someone else, that's not a real friendship. They love the version that you have put out there as opposed to the person you actually are, and that to me is really, really cool. That they did that.
And I like that you see that too with the Punisher, that
yes,
their last scene together, I haven't seen anyone say they don't like it, but it's very cathartic, because you are like, yeah, like, they have become friends. Like you said, they've gone beyond, I saved you once, you owe me a favor, to like, we are actually friends.
Yep.
And we'll talk about that trajectory, but I did like all the emotional stuff in this.
Yes.
I guess I want to talk about the MJ stuff now. Like, so part of going through his head for whatever time she could, Jean Grey's like, oh, so you like this MJ person. So now that's the pain point. I'm going to fuck with her. And she somehow, even though he very smartly was able to be like, okay, she can't jump into someone's body if they're more than 33 feet away. And then he traps her up in the sky. I was like, sick. Using your science again, just like he did against Doctor Strange in No Way Home.
Yep.
Somehow she gets out of that, which I figured she would, but I was also just like, that's, I guess we're not going to explain it. But I was just like, well, obviously she's going to get out of this, but this was a very smart move at this point.
Yes.
But she does get into MJ, and so they're on the roof, and she's talking like she actually kind of remembers, which made me like, this is not her.
Yeah.
Don't do this to yourself, because it's gonna be some more heartache. And she's like, let me see. And she picks up his mask, kisses him, very Spider-Man Raimi coded.
Yeah.
And then she takes off the mask, and she's like, Peter, and he's like, oh. Yes. He's like, I just felt so bad for the way he was just all in. I'm like, yeah, I love you. I'm so happy. I wish I didn't know what to do. And she was like, I don't even. Oh yeah, he's hugging her, and she's like, "That's right, Peter. Hold her." And I'm
Yeah.
like,
That
my
was
whole crowd was like, "Whoa!"
yes.
And just the way he was like, "If you ever loved someone, you know what you're doing is unforgivable or whatever, like irredeemable." I'm like, oh yeah, break his heart. Now I'm with the crowd that's like, yeah, depressed Spider. I was like, yeah, break his heart even more. Like I'm loving this. Just what Tom Holland is able to play on his face of like,
Yep.
you motherfucker. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is okay. I'm gonna fuck with you now.
Yeah.
And the way she was just like, yeah, like you thought like True Love's kiss would solve this. The MJ would be disgusted that you thought that. And also when she's like looking at him, she's like, yeah, there's nothing of you in here. She has no idea who you are.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh god. Like things I knew were true, but just to hear it out loud, you're just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was really into that. I was like, yeah, man. And then he like is grabbing her. I'm like, all right, slow down. That's still MJ. Like,
yeah, like yeah, when he holds
but
it, like,
it makes sense that he's like really lost it at that point.
yeah, especially because they did preface it with the idea of like this arachnid hormones and all that kind of stuff. He loses control and he rages out and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, okay, this makes sense. But I was just like, dude, you really want to reconsider what you're doing right now because you are choking out the person you say you love because its body's being inhabited by someone else. That scene was a gut punch. Yeah. And that's what I mean is like the magic of the first three was the three of them together. And in this movie, it's more Peter and MJ more than with Ned and all that kind of stuff. Not that Ned doesn't get a lot, but MJ gets way, way, way more. And that is really freaking cool because I think the cool thing about that scene, as well as what they do with Ned, and then later on, the other scene that just punches me in the gut when they're on the Frank Castle Punisher boat and all that kind of stuff, is that Peter doesn't get what he wants, but he gets what he needs in both those kind of situations, where it's like he wants MJ and he wants to love, but he needs to hear what this version of MJ actually, from a true vulnerable standpoint and honest standpoint, says. And to be like, okay, he wanted MJ, but he needs that connection through Ned, and he gets that toward the end and all that kind of stuff too. And through the part where the three of them are just hang out in the apartment and all that kind of stuff.
And they just go right back into jumping around Ned and Peter. Yeah,
and,
I really liked I was like, obviously she's going to read it because he's got the letter out and then just like leaves it to go off and do his thing. And so this is like, we're obviously not doing this in order, but like this is the portion of the movie where he goes to stop Jean Grey from breaking into the last DODC place with Metzger, and she has Hulk, and they figure that situation out with Punisher. You've seen in the trailer where MJ's like, you can't just let him go by himself. And throughout the movie they've had this running gag of, I saved you on Staten Island or whatever island.
It is Staten Island, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I saved you on Staten Island. He's like, oh, you're just gonna bring that up every time? He's like, yeah, man, like how many times do I have to save your life before I can get a favor out of you? As I said, I'm glad they moved beyond that. But like MJ uses that of like, I mean, yeah, you gotta save him, like kind of like a Staten Island thing. Like, this is good stuff. So yeah, they sort that out. And he comes back and he's like, MJ, we did it. We beat her. And she's got the letter. I'm like, yeah, obviously. But what I wasn't ready for was for her to say everything we said when we reviewed No Way Home, which is like, so you just took my choice away then. So that, like, you made that choice for me. That seems fucked. Like, she's like, I get why the person in this letter would love you, but I don't know who the fuck you are, man. Yeah. Like, and I like that the movie kind of makes it seem like she would be open to getting to know him, but
Mm-hmm.
the the main thing is just like, you still did this thing, so this is kind of on you. And also, I'm not going to just automatically be like, okay, like let's get back into it.
Yeah.
Because one, I don't know who you are, so this it wouldn't make any sense. And two, you did this, which isn't explicitly said, but I feel like is safe to imply that she's also like, I mean, you're just gonna do this again?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not cool either.
Yeah.
And so she basically leaves it at like, I appreciate everything you said, but you got to hear what I have to say. Like you said, like this is my side of things, and your decision made this happen. I am just a completely different person than the person in this letter now. It worked. What you did worked. There is no secret to getting me back to where we were when you wrote this letter.
Mm-hmm.
You made it a choice that actually worked out. So it's over.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't say it's over like that, because I do think the movie is saying that, not in that scene, but later when she's holding on to her like necklace from Far From Home.
Yeah.
That like she would be open to exploring something with him.
Yes, because I mean the line that she says that punches me right in the gut, that he needed to hear, was that, "I'm sorry, Peter, but I don't love you."
Yes.
And after he says that to her, fulfilling finally the promise
he
that
says,
he makes,
"I love you," which is the kind of thing she said, like, "Hey, you got to say it to me when you meet me again."
Yeah, exactly. But it is to that point. It's just like, why would she go back to him after all that kind of stuff and being like, "Hey, I don't actually know you. Like, if what you're saying happened, it worked, and I don't know who you are, so I'm not about to go fall in love with a guy that I think is nice." Because she even says that, it's like, "You seem like a great guy,
Well,
but I don't know
like,
who you are."
I'm a monster, and she's like, "Well, it's not really what I see."
Yeah.
Like, in the time we've spent, that's not what I see. Because I really like that conversation too. That's before the letter, where they're having that whole withholding thing. She's like, "Yeah, my boyfriend thinks I'm withholding." And then he gets to the point, he's like, "Well, it sounds like your boyfriend's a dick." And then like,
yes.
and then she's like, "Well, did you have someone?" He's like, "Yeah, I did." She's like, "What happened?" He's like, "I'm withholding."
It's great stuff. That
Yeah.
chemistry is good.
But as you said, there is a moment where she is like, "You mean you should?" It's after that where they have this big emotional thing. It is a gut punch, and then I don't think it's deflating. I think it's a smartly timed joke where she just ducks back into to view and is like, "I don't have a phone, so can you take me home, please?"
Oh,
and so
God.
then they get home, and she's like, "Do you want to come up?" And my initial thought was like, "What do you do?" And then I'm like, "Right, you live with Ned." She's like, "He deserves to see you too. Like, you should say hi to him." And they just have like this cool, like, relaxed thing where they're building Lego together. Ned is basically like, "I know how you do the webbing," or whatever. Or like, they're talking, and MJ's drawing. I like that they brought that back as well.
Yeah.
They go back into their joke, like the Lord of the Rings jokes and stuff. I thought that was really good stuff, because my fear for this movie before I saw it was, are they gonna just follow through on the whole Ned becomes the hobgoblin bad guy thing? Like, I don't
hate that.
I just like them as friends. I just want them to be friends.
I don't.
I'm not saying it won't happen, but like, I didn't want it to be this movie.
I just don't want it to happen. I just don't see why it needs to happen. Yeah. And I'm like, now, if it happens,
really
it's way worse. Yeah, it's way worse if it happens now, because they're clearly friends. And it's just rough. And I love the question that he just asks him. It's like, "So what happens when you have to pee in your web slinging? Do you just like pee anywhere on a rooftop or whatever?"
And then I was like, "Can you just answer it? Because now I want to know."
Yeah, because I'm like, that's a great question. And then Peter goes, "Don't you want to know how my webbing works? I know how it works."
That's what you want to ask.
It's so good. It's so incredibly good, because I'm like, yeah, he went to freaking MIT. Of course he figured this shit out.
And that was the other thing, that they remembered that Ned and MJ are smart.
Yes.
That they're not comic relief, or not just comic relief or the love interest, because Ned, I mean, the way he played it, I think, even though he said close but not really, I think he was just being like, "Oh, you got it." Like, there may be some minor details that are different, but yeah, you got it.
Mhm.
Okay, you understand how to do this. I like that MJ was also like, I mean, what's the eye thing? Like that's where the heat's being there, and so she figures out the inhibitor, or at least gets him on the right path with the inhibitor. Even though
Right.
I will stand by that as a terrible idea, and I wish he didn't do it. But like,
It's a terrible idea. It's an
Yeah.
awful idea. But and to be fair, the whole
it's like
everyone
he's
in
like
the
Forge.
movie.
He's like Forge in X-Men '97. That's like, oh yeah, Storm, you're the reason you don't. I'm the reason you don't have your powers anymore. By the way, like,
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is just gonna come to bite you in the ass later, Peter.
It's so bad because I'm just like, now you have the whole setup where he gave the technology to the DODC.
Mm-hmm.
Of course they're going to
Way too
replicate it.
trusting of a very clearly shady government
Yep.
body. I just feel like you must have seen how they interact with everything.
Right.
You
So
should just be like, no, they're. I don't. I don't even mean like I'm going to treat them as the antagonist right away, but you should just be like, let me
yes.
think about this for
So
a bit.
the way I can justify it or understand it a lot better is like because Peter's so alone and just isolated, not having his support network and anyone that really loves him around him, he is more susceptible to latching on to almost anything and all that. So that's how I saw it as like, okay,
I
that
don't
makes
think the
more
movie
sense
set
to
that
me.
up. I think the movie
No,
set up. He's got the
yeah.
people he's attached to. So the
Yes.
Gene DeWolf in the fashion he can.
Yep.
And Punisher in the
Yep.
fashion he can.
Mhm.
I don't think he's starved for just anybody. I think it was very clear who he was like the one-on-one things he was willing to do
Right.
on his terms.
Mhm.
That is like a full-on, I'm going to buy into whatever you guys are saying and let's just work together.
Fair enough.
Which
Fair
is
enough.
way different than what he was doing with the other people in the movie.
Yeah, he bought into that propaganda real hard. He did.
And I'm just saying, like, as someone who clearly, like, 4 years have passed, and so I'm like, maybe you didn't know what was happening in New Jersey with Ms. Marvel, but, like, I feel like you would just know about, like, the shit things DODC was doing.
Yeah.
That no other hero likes them, and they only have bad guy weapons.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, we work with the hand. Also, here's the shocker shit. Like, here's some, like, it looks like they repurposed some goblin bombs at one point. I'm like, do you, like, why wouldn't there be any kind of hero stuff here if they're the good guys?
None of it's defense stuff, none of it's armor, it's all offense, baby. And it's just like, yeah, spider sense and common sense are very different things.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I didn't like that. I'm not even saying it's like, well, what a stupid beat in the story. I was just like, come on, man, get back. I think it was part of his arc though to be like, who do you actually trust?
Yeah.
Because at one, I mean, they still did the propaganda thing, but like, it was kind of like, all right, like, not everyone is someone I should be trusting.
Yep.
But yeah, I really like the MJ and Ned stuff. I didn't want to get away from that too much because they were incorporated into. They got to be their own people in that neither one of them. Like we can talk about the final Ned scene, but like I don't think either one of them was like, oh shit, yeah, okay. I think each one of them were like, you have earned a path forward, and it will be something new because I don't know you. But neither one of them were like, okay, Peter, and then just jump right into Ned being his man in the chair or MJ being his love interest again. It was like, no, we are our own people, but also we are not terrible people, so we'll help. Yeah, I really liked that. That was some good stuff.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Jean Grey now?
Let's talk about it.
So, yeah, you said the sister thing didn't work for you, but her thing is she's looking for VMAX. Like, Jean Grey keeps breaking into these DODC facilities and searching VMAX. When they showed me what VMAX was, I was like, that's fucked. That is truly dark.
Yeah.
It literally was the last thing her sister saw as she like probably passed out and died.
Yeah.
She looked. Metzger was keeping her in a room because they're like, if we can figure out how to replicate controlling people's minds, that'll be great. So they captured Sarah, who was Jean Grey's sister, and experimented on her until she died, and she must have rolled back and seen on the ceiling Vent Max, but tape was covering it, so it just looked like VMAX.
Yeah.
And so Jean was holding on to this thing of VMAX. VMAX, it's the last thing my sister told me, so that she could find her sister.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh no.
That was dark as hell.
Yikes.
That was so dark.
She's like, you're a murderer. I'm like, yeah, man. Obviously. Like, we just watched Wonder Man. We know how fucked these people are.
Mm-hmm.
But also Ms. Marvel. You don't have to, like, their first, I mean, I think their first appearance, it was in Homecoming.
Yeah.
But yeah, where they took the jobs from Vulture
Mm-hmm.
and his crew. But yeah, I think while watching the movie, I was just like, okay, I guess that's Jean Grey. Doesn't feel like Jean Grey to me because I haven't read any comics with her pre Professor X and
Right.
all the shows and the majority of the movies. I think Last Stand starts with them taking over Jean Grey, like,
Mm-hmm.
but like for the most part, the shows and the shows and movies are about her after she's already met Professor X.
Yep.
So to me, I was just like, I just don't think this is. But a quick look online was people being like, no, this is pitch perfect Jean Grey pre Professor X.
That's cool. Good
Like,
to know, because
that's just her.
Yeah, because I was thinking, I'm like, oh man, what a great time to introduce Jean Grey in the sense that this is pre-Professor X, so they can literally do anything they want and then really, really make it up so that Professor X is the savior. And I'm like, no, he's not.
Well, we
Sure.
know that he would inhibit her. Like,
Yes.
he doesn't need the Spider-Man.
That's what I
in
mean.
The
I'm
Last
like,
Stand.
no,
That's in
he's
a
a
bunch of
dick.
things
Yeah.
where he'd be like, I'm
You're
gonna hide
too
some of this from you.
powerful, and you got the same power set that I have. I'm jealous, so
I'm gonna dampen it.
I'm just gonna weaken you a little bit.
But yeah, everyone has been like, oh yeah, she's a wreck. Like, when even after she met Professor X, she outed Bobby Drake as gay because she just didn't like that, and
Oh, shit.
no, she's messy. Like, that's just her thing.
That's her. She's okay. All right.
Like, that's
I
one
get
example.
it.
But people were like, when I looked into it, I was just like, oh, okay, then
Mhm.
good for them for getting Jean Grey right. I didn't really see the connection other than I loved how they resolved her stuff.
Yes.
But I really, even when he's like, okay, like, we beat Jean Grey, and she says Sarah, he goes up to Metzger. He's like, hey, do you know what Sarah is? I didn't even catch the lie of like Metzger be like, no, I mean, I knew he was lying, but I didn't catch why that would be a problem. Like, oh no, like I was thinking about somebody close to me who died called Sarah. I was like, I mean, that's not true, but okay. When he was like, wait, no, everyone says they just have a blank slate, like they don't remember any part of it. He lied to me. I'm like, I mean, at least you're smart about this.
Yeah,
good for you, man.
At least you got there, and you're saying the words you need to say right now.
Yeah, I liked that moment of like, okay, but then it does that shift where like, okay, now it's for like 3 minutes just about Jean Grey, and I'm like, this should have, if it were me, we would have just had this information from Jump, and the tension would have come from us knowing that Spider-Man is wrong about like which allegiance he's kind of like, I guess why do it again? But it's kind of like the Mysterio thing, where you're like, well, he's the bad guy, obviously. I can't prove it, but he is the bad guy. And they could do the inverse of like, well, she's the good guy. I can't prove it yet, but she is the good guy. I just felt like, oh, we're taking a real step back now, in a weird way. I wish that we didn't take this step back here, but it still works by the end. But you said the sister didn't work for you.
It didn't, largely because I'm like, it worked as a motivating force for her. Like, I get why she would want to keep attacking the DODC to get her back and all that kind of stuff. All that worked for me. But the idea of like, I didn't even know Jean Grey has a sister. All this kind of stuff. It was just like, all right. And it was just like, so they have the same power set? Like, what's... What? I don't understand what's going on here and all this kind of stuff. So it didn't really work that well, aside from the motivating factor of like, I understand why Jean would be so relentless to try to get her out of the DODC in that kind of situation. I understand that part of it. But the sister stuff, I'm just like, wait, what? What's happening here?
At first, I was like, when she said Sarah, I was like, oh, that's her real name because this is clearly not Jean Grey. And then I was like, yeah, no, her name's Sarah. Like, so that what? And then I was like going through my head, like, okay, so what? And like, what Marvel character's named Sarah? But then when they did the flashback, they didn't. They even hid the sister. Like, I'm like, oh, it's a twin sister, right? Because she's Sarah, and the real Jean Grey is somewhere else.
Well,
And then
that's
it's like, nope,
yeah.
no, it's just that is Jean Grey. And
Yep.
now I know they did a good job of portraying her for certain comic book fans. But to me, I was like, this just doesn't feel like Jean Grey. I like the character in this movie. But now I'm like, I mean, good on them for getting those aspects right. But yeah, she is being tested like her sister at this point, and Metzger is revealed to be the true villain that we always knew he was.
Yep.
Since Spider-Man knows, he's like, okay, now I have to go back and stop that. And they push Jean so hard that she basically freezes. Like they said, what the range was.
It's like a mile or something like that. And
no,
they kept
were
pushing out
kilometers. They were using kilometers.
They were using kilometers, not miles.
Yeah, they told them, hey,
What?
it's like it's this many kilometers around New York. Yeah, so everyone was stuck except for not everyone. I shouldn't say everyone. There's like some people that kind of enter the space. There's a very clear delineation of where it stops. So if you walked into it, I think like Punisher did, you'd be fine. But if you were a part of that initial thing, you'd be frozen.
Yeah.
And MJ was tearing up, so I'm only assuming that it was painful.
Wait, Punisher never walked into it.
I thought he did. I thought
no, he did not. He
was
like
on the outside.
He was on the outside. It was very much like it reminded me of the Westview kind of thing, or whatever the WandaVision thing was. There was that barrier, and like, oh, he didn't walk into it. He just kind of drove around and found a high point to
got it. Yeah,
get
because he did say, "I'm going to kill her."
Yes.
Well, early on, it's established. He's like, "You do what you got to do, but just know I'm going to do things my way." Which
I'm going to do
killing.
it my way. Yes.
He just couldn't kill the Hulk.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
He tried. He tried.
And he brought the bullets
successful.
that possibly could have at least wounded Hulk, but just used them at the wrong time. But yeah. So yeah, Spider-Man gets in there, and I like that Jean Grey is just like, I'm going to kill MJ. Don't come any closer. And he's like, come on, don't do this. I know what you're doing this for. It's not going to bring her back. And I'm always like, this is sound logic, but not the right time to say it.
Yeah.
Because, like, I feel like if someone has a bunch of shards of glass to the throat of the person they hate, hearing that's not going to bring her back probably just means you're going to get those shards of glass to the throat. Like, don't interrupt me with your logic. I'm having emotions right now.
Yeah, logic cannot meet emotions. That's not a conversation that works, for sure. So I'm glad that ultimately he abandoned that and was like, yeah, come into my brain. Like, yes, I will invite you in.
This is where I was like, this is really good writing.
Yes.
They keep teasing this conversation that he's having with Aunt May.
Yeah.
And once you find, we've already said what the crux of it is, and for him to know that is what Jean needs to hear right now, and for us to know as the audience that was kind of Jean's issue anyway, or Sarah's issue, was, well, we don't even have a real mom. And she's like, yeah, we do. She just didn't like that we had powers. And then she's like, well, if that's what it takes, then she's not a real mom. And then to have this mother figure be like, it's not. The special aspect has nothing to do with it. It's about loving you for you. And yeah, I just thought that was really well done and well acted. And especially when they kind of break that and it's Peter in the room with Jean alone. And he goes, yeah, I'm sorry about your sister. And her delivery of like, I'm sorry about your aunt. I'm like, this is really good stuff. This is solid. What a great moment for Spider-Man to be like, this is what's going to help. Like, I know what helps me. So even if he doesn't know her relationship with her mom, I mean, he knows she's a foster kid, but like he doesn't know the exact relationship she has to her mom or with the sister. But just the idea that he could be like, well, a pep talk from Aunt May is great. Like, anyone could have that. Felt indicative of what we talked about with Thunderbolts as well, where it's like, you can't just punch your way out of these situations.
Yes.
What are you actually dealing with? What's in front of you?
Yeah.
And how would you like to be treated? Because that was the solve for Thunderbolts, and that's the solve here. What would he like in that moment? And it would be encouragement from Aunt May, and so he was able to give that to Jean Grey.
Yeah, and sharing that like deep sacred moment with her and all that kind of stuff to build that trust. It's a good moment. Like you so eloquently said, like, get your logic out of my emotions. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, you can't logic emotions. You have to emotions, and get that empathy, that connection, and really
get the connection before you use your logic. Yeah,
and then the way that whole scene played out, where it's like now you hear the gunshot, and then Peter just like does Peter things where he's just like, no, I'm gonna protect you, and takes the shot from the Punisher. What a great sequence.
The way he's like, no, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. And then he drops him like, this is Aunt May all over again. No.
Yeah, I was just like, uh-oh, I'm not ready for this. You can't do this to me right now. But they didn't.
Especially if people know that the end credit scene is new Spider-Man detected. You may be tricked into thinking, they could kill him off.
Yeah.
Like if you knew that going into it. But no, they have plans for Tom Holland.
Yes.
It didn't make me be like, this is cheap. I'm just like, yeah, man, that would fucking suck getting shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, this I guess is a good entry point for talking about Punisher in general. Now that we've got to the shot, I do like that he comes in. His first scene is the scene you see in the trailer where they're chasing the tank.
Mm-hmm.
I thought there was going to be more context, but it made it feel way more comic booky, that they're just referencing something that happened off screen, and they have their own relationship, and that Punisher is like, don't fucking mess with me, kid. I'm here to do Punisher things, not be a friendly neighborhood anything. And I like that Spider-Man is just, he rubbed off on Punisher, that he's just like, well, I'm gonna do things my way, and then we'll see how you feel about that. And yeah, so I just really appreciated that throughout he's breaking him down of like, well, MJ is like, you should go help him when it's time to face the Hulk. And then he's already like, yeah, I can't let this kid down again, and thinks he has to take out Jean Grey before she smashes him the way Hulk smashed him. But he ended up taking out the wrong person, and if you want to say that he looks at him like a son figure or a brother, then obviously that would be an issue for him, since his family was shot down dead.
Yep.
And so I like that he's the one in the hospital. I like that it wasn't Ned and MJ.
I agree. The fact that it was him made it so much better.
Like they dropped off, or she dropped off her picture, but I like that it was him there, and he was obviously sleeping there.
Yeah.
Because I think he even said, MJ left, or whatever. Like, I'm still here. And then he has the emotional talk of I just want to say I'm sorry. He's like, are you crying? Yeah, I thought that was really well done.
Yes. Yeah. I agree. I this was probably the most I've ever liked the Punisher, within the context of what Bernthal's doing and all that kind of stuff. And it's because, and I do like the fact that they found a way to make the Punisher funny within the context that they put him in, all that kind of stuff, like the situations they put him in. All it was something I didn't see happening, because the entire time as the first trailer came out and we saw that scene with the van that you're talking about, I was just thinking, I'm like, how is he gonna work in this movie? The vibes of this movie have to be so different than what the Punisher brings to anything. How is it gonna work? And they found a way. They made it work. I'm like, this is actually damned impressive. And if this is a Punisher that softens up for the rest of the MCU and like actually does, dare I say, good guy things, it's just one of those things where I'm like, okay, it does work a lot better. And that Punisher one shot, for whatever it was, I'm glad Bernthal got that out of his system, because now I'm really hoping that the trajectory of this character starts to play well with others, because it's the idea of this movie really tackling on isolation and like loneliness and all that kind of stuff. It's just like, yeah, to have Frank Castle portray that from a toxic masculinity standpoint, and from someone that walls himself up and doesn't connect to anyone else, he's connected to Peter. And this is great stuff that I'm like, I hope he gets that opportunity to connect to more people. Like, he does have a connection with Daredevil, which shocked me that Daredevil did not make an appearance in this.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm so glad I was vindicated that he wasn't going to show the fuck up in this movie. There's no point for him to be in this movie.
There is no point, but at the same time, I was so convinced, and I did this to myself. I convinced myself, I'm like, he's got to be in here. And the one I didn't see coming,
like, no, he'll be in. I'm like,
yes, yeah, okay, me and guys. Andrew, we were on the wrong side. It
made no sense for him to be in this movie.
But the fact that I'm like, Florence Pugh out of nowhere, I'm like, holy hell, that's okay. That got me. That's good.
I was afraid he was going to show up in a post-credit. I was like, no, I got to watch this because I don't want to be wrong. No, I think what is smart about this is they're showing that different characters can have different relationships based on who they're talking to. So
yes,
he can be gruff and angry with Daredevil because they fundamentally don't agree on how to get this thing done.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the we both like the same woman thing going on.
Yeah,
it's more of a Punisher issue than I think Daredevil issue. Actually, no, he kind of showed in the second season that was an issue for him too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so to me, it's like, I don't even expect him to soften up there. Like, that would still be a pain point, but more importantly, that's his peer versus the entry point here would be, that's that kid that saved me.
Right.
I feel indebted to that kid, and we know his relationship to his kids and what that does for him. So it just would make sense that he would naturally be soft. Kind of like, I don't know, when I see Gordon Ramsay with adults versus kids, like, he seems like a different person.
Totally different vibe altogether.
You get, and it doesn't feel phony. You're just like, yeah, why would he talk shit to a little kid?
Yeah, why would he scream at a little kid? I don't want to watch that.
So yeah, I don't even think this is like, oh, and now from now on he's gonna put this. I do want to just ignore that one shot. That feels like,
yes,
it just lives in its own universe. This Punisher being like this with the kid makes sense to me.
You're right.
Another person he just sees as his peer and rival in certain ways.
You're right, because it comes back to that thing that you were saying before. It's like, don't bring logic into my emotions, because like Frank Castle, like Punisher and Daredevil, have been logic against logic, versus this is emotion meets emotion for him. And I think you're very right to say, like, he's still gonna have that energy around people that logic like clashes with him, but for Karen Page as well as Peter Parker, who bring emotion to him first, he really gets to soften up, and I'm like, yeah, that's good stuff. I think that's really, really good stuff. What I thought was also going to happen at some point too was Jean was going to like do something, because like, you know how like when the Hulk stops becoming, like, turns back into Bruce, he's like, she broke something in here and all that kind of stuff.
She broke something in my head.
Yeah, exactly. I was just like, is she gonna do that to Punisher? And like, is that gonna make him basically like not Punisher anymore? Like, what's gonna happen there? But yeah, the fact that
she
just
does get in his head and goes, whoa. I
This
feel like
guy's
she's
got
like,
issues.
maybe I should get out of here.
Yes.
She doesn't, but I like that her initially like, whoa, this guy's fucked. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Proceed with caution.
That was really funny to me. But I was thinking there was going to be something happening there, but I'm like, all right, well, no, this is much better. The fact that Peter just gets through to him. It's so much better than Sadie just breaking something in him and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, he's already broken, but yeah, this is the thing. At least Bruce had built something back up, and she broke it again. And I feel real. It's real rough. There's no Happy in this movie, as in Happy.
There's no Happy Hogan. No,
he's been in all of them, hasn't he? Yeah, he's been in all of them.
He has been.
I didn't even notice until someone was like, "Yeah, this movie didn't even have Happy Hogan in it." I'm like, I think that would have been digging a hole. Because
oh yes,
you'd be like, wait, so like, what capacity? I mean, I think people were like, that could be how he got like the computer shit through Happy Hogan.
Sure. but
And then
I
that would be
doubt
the
it.
only reason to have him there, but you don't need to do that.
But
Like,
it
you
also
don't-
wouldn't make sense because it's just like, no, remember the whole world forgot who he was, so it's
No, but they didn't forget. They didn't forget Spider-Man. There's
No,
multiple
you're
times
right.
in the movie that people are like, right, and Spider-Man did this, and Spider-Man did that. Like they mention, even Ned and MJ have moments of being like, "Yeah, he saved us at the Washington Memorial." So like,
yes,
Happy would still be like, "I've worked with Spider-Man."
Correct.
You just wouldn't know the Peter
Right.
Parker part of it.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I didn't need him in here.
No, I'm again not a knock against the movie, but it was just like, oh, like they didn't use him,
Right.
and they went back to the Aunt May. Well, but that is to highlight my point that that was an important part of the story. They
Correct.
weren't just going back there to be like, oh, you got to have Aunt May in a Spider-Man movie. It was like, this is a very important. This is the crux of our whole how we are going to change this person from an antagonist to a protagonist.
Yep.
So yeah, I really appreciate that, and I was kind of like, wow, so they didn't go with a major villain in this.
Mhm.
There are villains in it for sure, but it's like, this was a good use of Spider-Man actually trying to save somebody as opposed to beat them up and put them in
Yeah.
jail, which I'm always for.
The enemy in this is loneliness.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it makes sense in the idea of like you have that opening monologue where he's just putting away criminals left, right, and center so easily. It's just like, yeah, the movie already tells you that the villains are already taken care of. It's just like, what is the actual what's the next challenge? It's him connecting with people again, him reaching out to the world, and all that kind of stuff. Like that actually is good stuff to me.
I did like when they were like, he's getting the organic webs and he's like
Yep.
grossed out. It looks like he's like gagging. He's like, he's like, whatever. Peter too had it. He's cool, so this is
Yeah.
cool. And he just can't get over it. He's just like,
I
And
like
then when he's like, he had to keep going like, web stop, web stop.
I like when he's just like pressed on it like it was a pimple.
Yeah,
It just like came out and then he started gagging. I'm like, this is great stuff. It's so funny.
or when he kept trying to put the shooters on top, and Naomi, well, I think her name's Evie, but just
Evie,
him, I was
yeah.
just like, you can't. What are you doing? No, you can't use both. Pick one, asshole.
Yes, it's really really funny. But I did like how like the web shooters like, oh, you could turn that into bombs. That's sick.
Yeah,
That was so cool.
He still had. I mean, he didn't have a bunch of gadgets like Homecoming, but there still was like some creative things to do
Yep.
with cartridges and his organic stuff. I know I already said it, but I truly enjoyed how the Hand fought and
Yes.
that they fought. Like, I was just like, wow, you guys are just like one unit. This is amazing.
so
It just
cool.
looks so cool.
Yeah, you mean that in the prison where they're all like
Yes.
joined up and linked up? Yeah, that was sick. That was so cool.
Oh,
I even
yes.
like the fact that Peter was like, "Oh my god, that's so
Yeah.
cool."
You have to have something like that in the trailer, but I was kind of like, I would have liked this if I didn't see it in the trailer a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Just him being like, I mean, this is cool. This you
This
got
is
to
so
admit, this is cool.
Yeah.
And I liked the fight with Scorpion where he realizes it's actually Jean Grey, and he's like, I'm gonna fuck you up. And
Yeah.
like that's the cop again. I'm like, oh no, did I hurt a cop? I'm like, they were gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
Don't try and make me feel bad because it's a woman. Just don't be a cop.
Yeah.
But yeah, that there were. I liked all the fights. I'm pretty sure. I don't think there was a fight. Like I mean, like real fights, not just the montage stuff where they were very clearly just recreating
Yes.
a comic book.
So
I mean, times where the movie's like, okay, we're having a fight now.
and I think this is like genuinely one of Destin Daniel Cretton's like strong points as a filmmaker. I'm like,
Oh.
I think he's such a good like he has such a good eye for fight choreography and this kind of stuff.
Well,
like,
how to film it because
Yeah, yeah.
there is a separate choreographer. I
No,
know
yes.
you're not saying he did. I just want to make sure that like
yeah,
it's not lost that we know that there is a separate unit
Yeah.
for that. It's just yes, without a doubt, Daniel Cretton knows where how to shoot it.
Mhm.
And yeah, I just was looking back at his uh, filmography. I'm like, there's not even any reason for him to be like that, because like he just does a bunch of great indie dramas,
Mm-hmm.
like Short Term 12 and like Just Mercy, and then you're like, and then he'll kill it in Shang-Chi and Spider-Man Brand New Day in terms of fight, like filming the fight choreography.
Yep.
And yes, we've said it many times, there are different departments, but they're all working in service of his vision.
Yes.
Which is what I'm sure you were getting at.
Yes,
before I
that
cut you
yeah,
off.
yeah. No, it's no. You better describe the words I was trying to say. So I always appreciate that. I really, really do, because otherwise I would be like, yeah, that sounds stupid if I hear it back. I'm like, God damn it. My mouth is moving faster than my brain can go.
But yeah, I really, I think you're right that he has a good eye for that, and both of his MCU movies have proved that. And again, it's just cool because it's not like you were like, oh yeah, he was doing action movies before.
Mm-hmm.
He's just doing really thoughtful indie films.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to him doing more. I'm hoping, like John Watts, he gets a trilogy.
Yes.
If he wants it, to be clear. I don't
Yes.
want him to feel forced into doing anything.
I agree. Because, whether or not we're going to get Shang-Chi 2,
He
I
said
hope
they are. He said that's what
they
he's
are.
working on.
I do hope that he gets to do that for sure.
And he definitely has more time now that Wonder Man is canceled.
Yeah. I hate that you brought that up. That makes me sad all over again.
But yeah, so he has the time to do he doesn't have to do 3 MCU projects, he can just do 2.
Yep. Yeah, because when they took him off of what was it, Doomsday, I was like, man,
Kang Dynasty.
Kang Dynasty. I was like, man, that sucks. And then they put him here. I'm like, can he do this? And I'm like, yep, he's great. He's fantastic at this.
Yeah, I mean the ill-fated Kang Dynasty. No one knows what that could have been or what it will be. But we have Spider-Man Brand New Day, and that's good stuff.
I mean, we've heard rumors of what it was going to be, but just rumors.
None of it ever sticks with me. I'm always like,
Yeah.
Okay. Only because it definitely would have been changed when they actually were filming.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was just like, yeah, there's pre-production stuff and all that kind of stuff. Marvel is famous for just like, dare I say, improving sometimes what they're going to do. So, yeah, it definitely would have changed, but we kind of know what it was probably going to look like. But yeah, basically, it's a Young Avengers movie. Yay.
No more what if. We just have a good Spider-Man movie. Did we miss anything other than just reminding you Love is in this, and
I don't think we did. I just am confused because when I look at the IMDb, it says Claire Temple is in this, which is...
Oh yeah, I think people thought she was going to show up at the hospital and maybe she filmed something that got cut.
Oh, okay. I guess
think
that
she
makes
would have
sense.
maybe she wouldn't work in a hospital. I don't know. Either way, it got cut.
Yeah. Okay. That makes more sense to why it's there then, because I'm just like,
yeah, it's still.
Can I not trust the internet
the day
anymore?
This comes out, so I don't even know if that will last till Monday.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I had heard other people be like, "Oh, so she must have got cut."
Yeah,
because it's not just you saying Claire Temple was in this.
Right, and the funny thing is, like, I said to you before we started recording that IMDb is still dedicated to keeping the Jean Grey secret. Mm-hmm. Not anymore, baby. I said while we're recording, like,
filming to this,
yeah. While we started recording, I'm like, oh, they changed that. They put Jean Grey right there. I'm like, great. Love that for everyone else. But it's yeah, like I said, the person leaving the movie theater while we were in line is like, man, I can't believe she played such a great Jean Grey. I'm like, you son of a... Oh man, I want to throw my freaking candy at you if it wasn't... I didn't want to eat it.
Yeah. No, I mean, that was someone we know from the internet and that shelf and that life Matthew Simpson was like, so people are surprised that the worst kept secret was not in fact wrong. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's true, man. Like that was like the first thing people said. Redhead, it's Jean Grey.
Yeah.
It's just
That
Jean
was
Grey.
the
I don't
absolute
give
first
a
thing.
fuck what anyone says. She's playing Jean Grey.
Yep.
And I was
Yep.
like, oh, I don't see how that would work. I mean, my big worry also was that they were gonna do man spiders. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, no, we dodged a bunch of bullets. And
I feel like they might still do Man Spider at some point.
they might. I'm just saying it wasn't this movie, so they
Yeah.
didn't do Ned turning into a bad guy. They didn't do Man Spider.
Yep.
And so it's not that I just liked the movie because it wasn't those things, but it doesn't hurt that they didn't do two things I really didn't want to see.
Yeah, I do appreciate that. I agree.
All right. Well, do you want to rate it?
Yep. I'm rating this thing.
All right. I'm going to give it an 8.5.
I'm at a 9.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I told you. Like I said, I'm like, the thing I'm going to say is going to make the rating look weird, but like I said, this was not a fun movie. It was a good movie for me.
Mm-hmm.
And because they were so effective at writing all those kind of things of like what it's like to be a young adult, just trying to find your way in the world, and then also the loneliness thing that really hit hard for me. So they did a great job, but they landed all the points, and the fact that the handshake at the end
we forgot to talk about that. Yeah, he finally. It looks like he's getting flowers for MJ, and I'm like, don't fucking come on.
No,
and
it was for Aunt May.
Oh,
because he does that throughout the whole movie.
He keeps going to the thing, right? It's because I feel like the only time you saw him buy them was to go to the party. So I was like, is he doing that again? But you're right. He also leaves flowers at her grave. Yes.
Yeah.
But I feel like we already saw him talk to her. But
yeah, I think he goes back like weekly.
No, I mean like right before that scene. Not like you do see him at there. It doesn't matter. I could misremember it. I'm very tired. Yeah. You're probably right. But yeah, he goes over and he talks to Ned, and it's already established that Ned knows that Spider-Man's name is Peter, because that's what MJ says when he leaves. And he's like, oh, Spider-Man's name is Peter. And then I just like that. I keep wanting to call him Tom. That Peter's just like, we're gonna do our version of a kiss, and it just works. And he's like, Peter. And I do want to just see it as him being like, right, you're Spider-Man. Got it. And we are on friendly terms. Let's keep this going.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the instance of Love's true kiss breaking the spell. I think he was just like, right, no, we're friends and you're Spider-Man. Great.
I mean, it could very well be your thing. I'm choosing to believe the other thing, that like the relationship that he needed was Ned, and the relationship he wanted was MJ, and that he's got to build that up, but what he needs is that connection with Ned and all that kind of stuff, right? That's what I'm choosing to believe, and in that I love that final, like the fact that they ended the movie on that is really
good
really
stuff.
great.
Yeah, I already said what the post-credit scene was. In my mind, not worth it for the visuals.
No,
the implications are fine, but the visuals, I was like, because I think it's them acknowledging the Spider-Verse because of the glitch and the sound.
Sure,
but I was also just like, not enough. I don't.
Right.
Like, I wish this was better visuals.
So yeah,
or like even using the Spider-Verse score or something.
Right. I mean, it could be anything, but at the end of the day, we'll see what it does. It's just like, is it Battle World? Is it another Earth? Who cares? It doesn't matter.
I don't think it has anything to set up the MCU. I think it's like, we're Sony. You like this movie? Come see our other shit. Like we don't need to help Marvel anymore.
I will say, I didn't watch a lot of the press junket around this movie, but the stuff that I did see, especially like right before recording, was like there's a plan in play to pass the baton from, because they've, like Kevin Feige has always said, there's plans to introduce Miles at some point, and they've said that the barrier is the Spider-Verse movies and all that. They have to wrap that up before they can even consider getting that out, which makes sense. But the idea here, I'm like, it made me feel so racist every time I saw any kind of like
that you look at
Hispanic or like black kid on screen. I'm like, oh, is that Miles? And I'm like, I'm being so racist right now. What the fuck is wrong with me? I'm just like, because
the person that he has an extended conversation with, I'm like, he sounds like Miles, but
yeah,
it just isn't Miles.
It's not Miles, and it's just like it. Frick you, Kevin Feige, for being like, oh yeah, that was actually Peter Parker in the Iron Man mask in Iron Man 2. I'm like, now you're making me think like, oh, is that Miles? Is that Miles? Is that Miles?
I think they're gonna say that the girl that was on the bus that had the Jets jersey and the white sheet. I think they're gonna be like, yeah, that was Rogue.
I hope not.
I know from the trailer, everyone's like, it wouldn't be Rogue. They wouldn't do it that way. I'm like, watch. Someday down the line, they're gonna cast somebody who isn't that person, and then just be like, but that was Rogue.
So
someone's gonna ask them, and they'll be like, sure. You gonna go watch the X-Men movie or not?
I just don't want that to be Rogue, because in no world am I okay with Rogue being a New York Jets fan.
Well, and that's just like she's just wearing whatever. I don't like.
She is. I just don't like the New York Jets.
Man,
this is just me being a bro in sports. I'm like, the New York Jets are just a comedy team. Like, that's all they are. So the fact that she's actually a New York Jets fan, if that was Rogue, I'm like, I've lost so much respect for her. So yeah,
we'll only find out 10 years from now.
It's true. It's true.
There's no way.
Whenever the X-Men movie comes out, which
I feel like even after the X-Men movie comes out, they'll be like, don't talk to us about that. And then for whatever special they need to do, they'll be like, yeah, that was her.
That's true.
Do you like that idea? Then good. There, that was.
It's like it's probably something that's like, oh yeah, the internet says this. Like, oh, that might be a good idea. Let's go ahead and do that. It's true. They probably will retcon it at some point. Yeah.
All right. Well, we got the handshake in, and now it's just time to tell you thank you very much for listening. Our next episode will be episodes 7 and 8 of X-Men 97, so you can look out for that. Otherwise, you can keep in touch by emailing spoiledpodcast@gmail.com. We are at TDF Spoiled on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, YouTube. You can go to our website, tdfeverything.com/spoiledrotten. And more importantly, you can rate, review, subscribe, follow, share with your friends on the podcast platform of your choice. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Cheers!
This has been a TDF Everything production, brah.